Hello students, this is Pilates I and this is class A. So we're going to start seated. Get on top of your sitting bones, on top of your sitting pads. Cross the legs, arms in front, arms straight. Now take a moment to organize your spine into its neutral. Want to make sure to lift that side waist a little bit from the hip bones up through that side waist. The low abdominals are combing in and up, and saran wrapping across and around. So there's that little bracing feeling. You want to widen the collarbone across the front chest to the shoulders. So we have that open, wide collarbone to engage the upper core and align the shoulders right directly over your pelvis. And then check your earlobe is directly over your shoulder in your mind's eye so that you have good alignment to start. And then for the back side of the core, we also want to think of lifting the low back pant waist upward a little bit. Thinking of that skin below the waist having a tattoo on it and dragging the skin of the tattoo upward towards your waist. And we want to maintain this lower half nice and stable as we start with our spine stretch prep here. Inhale tall, nod the chin up and over candy cane hook, roll forward finding the floor with your fingertips. Only go as far as you do not move your pelvis, keeping it stable on the sitting bones. Inhale, roll up bone by bone as if you're going up against a wall, organizing your spine back to its neutral angle to the right diagonal. Inhale, nod up and over with the same curve to that little forward diagonal. Keep the opposite sit bone anchored. Scoop the belly to initiate rolling back up. So it's always your abdominals activating before you move. Inhale to the other side, nod up and over curve. Reach to that diagonal. Inhale. And roll up bone by bone. Exhale. Lateral bend, reaching up vertically. Inhale. Lifting that whole side body, including the edge of your arm. Reach out and over to a side bend, being careful not to rock the sit bones off your pads and making sure that you're only moving from above the waist. And lift from your bottom waist to return. Inhale, vertical, up and out. Exhale. Inhale. And lift to center. Once more each side. Inhale, up and out. Exhale. Hold. Inhale, lift from the waist. Exhale. Last time, reaching up and out to the side wall. Head goes with you. Inhale and lift from the waist. Soles of the feet together so that they're a little further out away from you. Careful not to jam them up too close. Relax your knees and grab your shins and use your arms to help you get tall against that wall again, scooping those low abdominals in and up. Scoop and lead from the tailbone to C curve your spine. Keeping that C curve round forward into that spine stretch. Lengthen to the high flat back diagonal, getting your spine neutral from the tailbone to the top of the head. And bring that whole neutral spine and head back to center over your sitting bones as one piece, just coming back up. Inhale, lengthening upward, scoop the low belly, hollow the front body in and up under the ribs here, round forward, lengthen to the high flat back diagonal, and bring it center. Then cross your legs again. Reach up, inhale, shoulders wide and down. Interlace the hands, heels of the hands behind those bones, right behind the ears, those occipital bones. Elbows side diagonal, shrugging the shoulder blades up, inhale. Glide the shoulder blades down your back ribs gently, widening your collarbone. As you press the elbows open, be careful not to disturb your head, neck, or shoulders, or ribs. Just feel the stretch and return to diagonal. Inhale, glide the shoulders down. Exhale, and gently press and release. Now let's come off our sitting pads. Move them to the side. Make sure you have your little folded head support next to you so you do not have to get back up. to grab it. Also have your lengthwise little towel ready to grab it as well, right near you, so you don't have to get up. Then grab your little spacer that we use between the knees, and this can be a ball or a rolled towel. And then with all of that set up, roll, tuck and on your side, onto your back, nothing under the head yet, just your mat. And then let's go into our neutral spine and place your feet about a fist apart between the ankle bones and place those feet right under your knees. Take your spacer between your inner legs, between the knees, and arms alongside, and lengthen your pubic bone away from your navel to get that nice neutral pelvis. You have that tiny little space under the waist, but your lowest back ribs should be on the mat, and your shoulder blades are kind of plugged into the mat very gently so that you feel like your wide collarbone can also be in place here so that our earlobe and shoulder are still in line. Now put a very slight squeeze on your spacer here between the legs just to activate those inner leg muscles just ever so slightly. We're not doing a hard squeeze, just enough to feel that little activation. As you do that little tiny squeeze, make sure you're not tucking. You want that tailbone lengthening in the direction of your feet. Not so much that you push your ribs up, but just enough to get that level pelvis. Thinking of your pelvis like a bowl of water sitting on the table. You want the water in the bowl to be level, and you want the rim of the bowl on the top to be level parallel to the ceiling. And now we'll go in and out of neutral with pelvic tilts. You scoop the low belly to initiate, you curl the tailbone, flatten the waist, and roll back to that neutral, lengthening the tailbone. It's very subtle. Inhale, hollow navel to the back waist, scoop the low belly, curl the tailbone, flattening the back waist, and roll back. Couple of more. Inhale, exhale to curl. Inhale to lengthen. Now on this next one, we'll start the same and bridge. So we'll be continuing to roll up. Inhale, prepare. Hollow, curl the tailbone, flatten the waist. Continue curling. Now your glutes kick in and your hamstrings as you roll up the spine to that straight line between the shoulders and knees, creating your bridge. Inhale at the top, heavy chest away from the ceiling first, so we don't drop the pelvis right away. It goes down only as we're rolling through those bones of the spine, the vertebra. And we roll down, vertebra by vertebra. Inhale, exhale, curl, roll the pelvis up, feel the stretch at the top, your front body lengthening, your back body is contracting, and then heavy chest. Feel the bones roll in a straight line through your spine, making sure your waist makes contact on the way down. One more time. Inhale, hollow that low belly first, curling, roll up smoothly. Feel the stretch at the top. Inhale, roll through the spine, fluidly, smoothly, bone by bone. When you get back to neutral, slip your little head support in. We want it under the bony part of the back of the skull, remember, not under the neck. So the neck is open under there, free to float. And we interlace our fingers. Hands behind the head, elbows side diagonal, ready for the ab curl or chest lift. Remember, we're only moving the upper body, folding at the solar plexus, the breastbone, and the pelvis should not tuck or move at all in our ab curl. We inhale, nod the chin. Sink and slide the breastbone away from the chin as you curl and fold the chest forward, looking at your legs. Hold, inhale, and lower the chest, exhale. Inhale, nod the chin, sink the breastbone to curl, making sure you don't tuck. Inhale at the top, and smoothly lower down. Inhale, nod the chin, sink the breastbone to curl. Check your position at the top, no tucking that pelvis. Inhale and lower, exhale. Now we do ab curl with rotation. Inhale, nod, same thing. Scoop the belly so you curl the chest, but you don't move the pelvis. You're just flattening across like a trampoline down here in the lower part. And then stay in your ab curl looking forward. Pivot to your right diagonal, exhale. Bring it center. Pivot to your left diagonal, exhale. Bring it center. Repeat that. Pivot to the right diagonal, center. Pivot to the left diagonal, center, and lower the chest down. One more time. Inhale, nod. Sink the breastbone, ab curl forward, tailbone anchored. Now without lowering down at all, just pivot to the left diagonal, looking just past that leg in the diagonal direction. Back to center, pivot to the right diagonal, back to center. Exhale to the left diagonal, center. Exhale to the right diagonal, center, and lower the chest down. Remove your hands, remove your ball to the side. Next, we're doing leg levitations. Let's bring our legs together, move the feet a little bit away from you. Very slowly, we're going to be picking one leg up at a time, making sure we don't tuck, wobble, or move the lower half from the waist to the pubic bone, staying very anchored. Sitting bones lengthening in the direction of the feet. Slowly float your right leg tabletop 90-90. Inhale. Place it down without any movement in the trunk or the upper body. Lift the left leg. Inhale to tabletop 90. Always stopping right over that little crease that's created at your hip socket. And place it down carefully, never plopping it down. First side again. Inhale, lift. This time stay. Making sure you keep your back ribs on the mat, lift the other leg to join. Both legs together, tabletop. Now we're really working these low abdominals, but be careful to sink your solar plexus so as not to arch your back ribs. Keeping that right angle in the knee, dip the right leg out and down, inhale, and lift smoothly, exhale, without changing anything in this trunk area. Dip the left, inhale, smoothly, and lift with your abdominals being what you're focusing on, that bracing. Once more each side. Inhale, smoothly lift, exhale. Everything moving like you're underwater. Dip the left and lift and stay. Grab behind the legs and hug in. Rock a little to ease out your back. Then push your legs into your hands. Move the legs to tabletop, drawing your tailbone down. Once more. And then keep the arms there as you just nod the chin. Go into that nice ab curl again and check you're still not tucking the lower half. Just the ab curl with this tabletop. Inhale and lower the chest down. And one at a time, put the feet down and place your ball or your spacer back between your knees. And arms alongside. Now return to your neutral pelvis, embrace the low abdominals, and we're going into our little 100 prep. So we're going to be pumping the arms nice and straight in a small 4 to 6 inch range, inhaling for 5 pumps, exhaling for 5, while we maintain our ab curl position. But at any time, if your neck starts to get too fatigued, please put your head down, continue pumping and breathing, and lift again when you're ready. Here we go. Inhale, nod the chin. Sink the breastbone to curl, reach the arms forward and pump. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep looking at your legs. 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3. One more set. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower the chest down, arms down, roll your head side to side, and then remove your ball to the side. All right, we're going to roll to our side, come to sit. Sit in the center of your mat and bring your feet a fist apart with your ball between your knees. Grab behind your high back legs, really up close to the pelvis. Grab that fleshy part and actively use your arms to help lift you up into your neutral. So you're lifting that back pant weight. And notice I've got my feet pretty far away from me. I'm not jammed up here. I'm moving them out far enough I can get in my neutral seated. Now we're going to do our half roll back. Remember to only go as far as you feel comfortable going. If you feel pain or strain in the back, you've gone too far. Remember, we're curving the spine as we initiate. We inhale tall, hollow the low belly, curl the low tailbone area, create that capital C in your spine, nodding the chin a little bit down. Then just continue a few more inches back, using those arms to assist you to get a little bit more of a little half roll back. Hold, inhale. Now, as you curve forward, your belly is pulling back in opposition, and your spine is feeling like it's coming up and over a big ball in front of you. Your forehead goes towards your knees. Then rock on top of your sitting bones and unravel your spine. Find your little neutral seated against your wall. Inhale, hollow into C curve. Scoop and curl more to lead into that half roll back. Hold, inhale, navel to the back waist as you curve your spine up and over. Get over your sitting bones, and then rock on top of those bones and unravel up to find your neutral against your wall. One more time. Inhale, hollow and scoop. Slight squeeze on your spacer or ball. Inhale, navel pulls back as you curve forward and rock on top of sitting bones and unravel. Now remove your spacer, grab either a TheraBand or your long towel twisted for the leg circles. Once you have your prop, we will use our head support, so tuck and roll on your side and onto your back. Go into your neutral, towel under the back of the skull. Find your neutral spine, brace your abdominals, and take your band or towel, hook it over the middle of your arch of your foot, let it hang on either side, grab toward the end of your band or towel so as not to choke up too much. You want just a tiny bit of support here, not a real like choke up stretch kind of position. And then extend your leg in a position where you can get your tailbone down. So you notice if I could go here, but I'm in a tuck. So I want to draw my tailbone down, and that's where my leg should go, is where I can have my neutral. The bottom leg can either be straight, or if it feels better, keep it slightly bent. Draw your back shoulder blades into the mat, wide collarbone, navel to the back waist, but no tuck in the pelvis. This is our leg circle. We're trying not to wobble the pelvis as we circle the leg. Like you're drawing a circle on the ceiling with your heel, start across the body, inhale, circle, exhale, pause at the top, 1. Cross, inhale, circle, exhale, up 2. Careful not to wobble the pelvis, and up 3. Inhale, exhale, up 4. Inhale, exhale, pause, 5. Reverse direction, out a little, down, around, across, and up. Keeping that tailbone lengthening in the direction of the wall opposite you. Inhale, exhale, up 3. Inhale, exhale, quiet pelvis. Last one, exhale, pause, and bring your bottom foot in. Carefully replace and switch out. Set up the other side, checking you're in your neutral pelvis, tailbone lengthening. Nice ASIS, 2 front pelvic bones and pubic bone in the same plane. So you have that level pelvis. Starting across the body. Inhale, exhale, up 1. We always do that little pause at the top. Inhale, exhale, up 2. Inhale, exhale, up 3. Inhale, exhale, up 4. Smooth and fluid. Exhale, pause, 5. Now reverse. Go out a little, down, around, across, and up. Being careful not to wobble the pelvis, 2. Inhale, exhale, up 3. Inhale, exhale, up 4. Last one, exhale, pause, 5. Gently release your tension. Remove your band. Rub your hands out real quick. Hug your knees in. Roll to your side. Come to sit. And we're going to do a new exercise called rolling like a ball. You're going to scoot a little forward on your mat and make sure there's nothing you're going to have behind you that you could roll onto. And this is called rolling like a ball, and it's literally like you're trying to make your body into a ball. So just doing the prep can be enough today. So the prep is You can either grab behind your back legs and pull in tight as you C-curve your spine, so you're just a little behind your sitting bones, or ideally you grab your front shins. And then you find that little balance point right behind the sit bones where you're in this C-curve, shoulders down, chin gently down, not jammed to your chest, but just looking down. And you're in this little balance point. Now that right there is work. And this can be all you do today. But I'll show you the full exercise called rolling like a ball. Maintaining this deep curve and ball shape in our body, we're going to be leading from our tailbone to roll back and roll forward to that balance point, being careful not to open up into the head going back. If your head goes back and you look at the ceiling as you roll back, it will be very hard to roll back forward, and you're kind of defeating the purpose. So the purpose is to articulate and roll through the back without flattening it at all, trying to get that nice curvature from the tailbone all the way through the top of the head. So watch it once. We're going to curl, but I keep looking at my abdominals. And as I come forward, I still look at my abdominals, and I focus on just not using momentum, but using just the abdominals and just that little bit of gravity that you're working with to roll back, and then you have to roll forward using those abdominals as well. The more you pull in, the better it will be and easier it will be. Let's give it a try. We find our balance. Now, if you are on a hard floor, make sure you have a thicker mat or put some towels under your mat, because you don't want to roll on a hardwood floor. So if you have a carpeted floor, probably just your mat on that is fine. If you do not have a carpeted floor, add more cushioning by adding towels, like bath or beach size towels stacked up underneath there. You have to have a little bit of cushioning for this, okay? So here we go. First, just find your balance, and if you want, you can just hold this balance today. Otherwise, follow me. We deepen our low belly, curve even more in your low back near the tailbone, and then keep your chin gently down as you roll to just your shoulder shelf. Notice I do not roll onto my neck or head. I'm only rolling to this upper mid-back area between the shoulder blades. Do not use momentum and roll onto your head or neck. Here we go again. Deepen your low belly and curl. Roll, inhale, forward to the balance, exhale. Again, roll, inhale, forward, exhale, and pause. Good job. Now let's roll back down onto our mat with your head support for some abdominal sequencing. We're going to be using that ab curl we've been doing in a position where our legs are in that tabletop, which I kind of reviewed earlier in this class. So remember our tabletop, one leg at a time, legs together, perfect 90-90. Now we're going to place our hands on our knees and do an ab curl. Inhale, nod, fold the chest forward, and check you're not tucking down below. Now you stretch your left leg on a slight up diagonal as both hands go to the right knee. Maintaining your ab curl, not moving anything but the legs, you switch and put your hands to the left knee. Exhale, switch. See, nothing moving except your legs. So I'm not rolling side to side. I'm not letting my chest come down. But if your neck starts to fatigue, then yes, you can put your head down, continue your legs a few times, and then lift into ab curl again when you're ready. Exhale, switch, exhale. Again, lower down, take a breath. The next exercise is called double leg stretch prep. Let's move our legs to that tabletop again, drawing the tailbone down. Place your hands on your top knees again. We're going to ab curl. Here we go. Actually, let's touch behind the back legs, I think, for this one today. And let's first extend the legs with the Pilates V position, that letter V for Victor. And I'm going to turn so you can see. So your heels are together and your legs are in that slight rotation and the legs are stretched. Yeah? That's the position we're going to extend to. And when we do that extending, we're going to be ab curling. So we lightly touch behind. Check your tailbone down. 90-90 tabletop. Inhale, nod. As you ab curl, straighten the legs to Pilates V. Squeeze your inner legs slightly together. Hold there and reach your arms alongside like the 100 that we did. Grab on again and bend and lower to starting position smoothly. Inhale, nod. Sink the breastbone to ab curl and straighten the legs to Pilates V. Check you don't pull on your legs and tuck. Keep that tailbone down. So the legs are a little forward diagonal. Reach alongside. Inhale. Grab on again lightly and bend and lower to starting position. One more time. Inhale, nod. Ab curl as you straighten the legs. Look at your legs. Reach alongside. Inhale. Take the legs again and bend and lower. Hug in and take a breath. Now put the feet down one at a time. Bring the feet together and move the feet a little bit away from you. Not too far, just a little. And make sure you're in your neutral spine and pelvis. Interlace your fingers, hands behind the head. So in our warm-up, we did the ab curl and then we did the rotations. We're going to do that again, but this is called crisscross prep. So after I ab curl, I'll cue you to lift your right leg to tabletop as you simultaneously pivot to the right diagonal. And you don't want to bring the knee to your chest. See, I'm stopping in my crease of my hip tabletop. So don't pull it in real close because that can make you tuck. So I'm just twisting in the diagonal. The leg goes to tabletop. When I put the leg down, I'm bringing the body back to center, not lowering down, sorry. Then I pick up the left as I pivot to the left diagonal and then put it down as my chest comes center, but I'm not lowering down in between. We're going to do 2 on each side to start. All right, so interlace behind the head. We prep first to the ab curl. Inhale, nod. Sink the chest to curl. Look at your legs. Check your tailbone down. Now we pick up the right to tabletop as we twist to the right diagonal. Exhale. Put it center as your chest comes center. Pick up your left as you twist to the left diagonal. Exhale. Put the foot down as you bring the chest center. One more time. Pick up the right as you twist to the right and put it down center and pivot and twist and put it down center and lower the chest. Good job. All right, now we're going to roll on our stomach. In Pilates, when we do back work, it's very important we do it correctly and initiate into the correct positioning before we do any movement, just like everything else. So what I'm going to do today is have you roll on your stomach. Bring your feet in a Pilates position, heels together, and cross your hands and forehead on your hands. Now separate your heels about 4 inches apart, just a tiny bit. Check your neutral pelvis is on the mat, which means the 2 front pelvic bones and your pubic bone should feel like those 3 bones are making their way to the mat, gently pressing onto the mat. Then your navel is lifting away from the mat without disturbing those 3 bony landmarks. You draw your shoulders away from your ears, and your legs are very extended, which means they're not relaxed. They're active by almost lifting the kneecaps a little bit away from the lower leg. Now, keeping your forehead on your hands, you're going to hover your upper back and head and arms just an inch or 2 off the mat, looking straight down at your mat, and then lower back down. It's a pretty small movement, just upper body. Inhale, lift and hover. Exhale, lower. Inhale, hover. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, hover. Exhale, lower. Now keep your upper body down. Bring your legs together parallel. Parallel means they're straight on. Tops of your feet on the mat. Knees are aiming to the floor but lifted, so they're not relaxed onto the mat completely. Then tighten your low belly. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. And then keeping your head down, you're just going to float your right leg only an inch or 2 off the mat. We don't want to lift the pelvic bone. So keep your pelvis neutral on the mat. So you won't lift very far. and lower down. Lift the left leg an inch or two off the mat without disturbing your trunk and lower down. Now lift the right leg one more time and stay. A tiny pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold 6 and lower. Left leg floats up an inch or two. Keep your pelvis level on the mat and pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lower hands by ribs. Use your abdominals pulled in to help push you up and back. Round your back, and we're going to sit back to rest position. Let your head drop to the mat. Toes together, knees apart, and just breathe into your back ribs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Roll up to a 4-point kneel position. If you need to roll your mat to have a little lift for the wrist, or a towel, then you can pause the video and set that up. Otherwise, hands under the armpit, knees a fist apart, and a flat back neutral. So I have my natural curves, but I'm not exaggerating, and my knees are right under the creases of my hip sockets. Bonding the shins to the mat, we're also going to lift the breastbone away from the mat so we don't sag that breastbone down between the shoulders. We lift it a little from the mat and look about 2 feet in front of your hands so your head's up in line. Now we do our flying table. Right arm and opposite left leg reach out in line with your spine, trying not to wobble as you breathe. Inhale. Exhale and return to your level neutral, replacing carefully. Then your left arm and opposite right leg reach out in line with your spine. Breathe, inhale, no wobbles if you can help it. Exhale and return. Now we cat stretch. You round the back toward the ceiling, arching in that C curve. Let the head go down. Then lengthen in both directions, tailbone to the back, head back up in line. Feel your position, not sagging. One more time, cat stretch, round it, scoop that belly. Lengthen both ends and lengthen to your neutral. Now keep your neutral and tuck your toes under. Maintain your flat back neutral and just hover your knees 1 inch off the mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down, untuck, round into cat stretch, sit back to rest position. Take 1 breath here. Inhale, exhale, roll up, and we will sit facing toward our mat. Extend your legs out, open them apart the width of your mat. Flex your feet so the toes are toward the ceiling and your knees are toward the ceiling. Now, if you're having trouble getting on your sitting bones in a neutral seated with your legs straight, then ever so slightly bend the knees, but keep your parallel legs with the toes and knees toward the ceiling. Try to get up against your imaginary wall behind you in a neutral pelvis and neutral spine. Now place your hands on your legs and keep the arms straight. We're going to do an up over candy cane hook into spine stretch, but remember, we're not moving the pelvis, so below the waist is stable, meaning you do not rock off your sitting bones. So I'm not hinging forward, I'm doing that up over curve, and this pelvic area does not move. So my low back stays against my imaginary wall. Let's try it. Inhale, tall. Nod up and over like you're coming over a ball in front of you. Slide your arms along your legs as you curve forward, maintaining your pelvic positioning in neutral. Grab onto your legs for a moment and pull your belly or your navel towards your back waist. Then roll up from the tailbone through the spine against your wall, restacking. Head is the last thing up and shoulders wide, collarbone wide. And make sure you don't lean back. Remember, if it's a wall, You would put a hole in the wall if you tipped backward or curved backward, so you want to stay right up on top of your sit bones. Inhale, zip the belly, nod up and over, curve. Hold, inhale, roll up, stacking, exhale. Find your wall. One more time. Inhale, up and over, curve. Exhale. Hold, inhale, and roll up bone by bone. Now for this next one, we're staying in this position but bringing the palms together forward about across from solar plexus. This is called the saw. I'm going to take my right hand to the outside of my left little toe, so opposite leg, as I bring the other arm straight down and back, and I curve over that leg looking down and back, making sure I don't rock to the side and lift the opposite sitting bone. Want both sitting bones anchored on the mat. Then roll up through your spine as you bring the arm back around. Return to your neutral in the middle. Now take your left arm to the outside of the right little toe and look down and back. Exhale. Roll up through your spine. Bring the palms together in the center. Again, exhale to reach. Inhale to roll up. Other side, exhale to reach. Inhale to roll up. Now let's grab our sitting pads and sit on them facing your video. Cross your legs in front. Grab your little folded towel. We'll do some rib cage arms with additional challenge. So bring your arms straight, a little tautness on your towel, thumb underneath, fingers on top, and be careful not to break in the wrist. We want the wrist straight. Then, hovering above your legs slightly, lift your side waist, make sure you're in a good neutral against your imaginary wall. Reach forward and up overhead, only as far as you keep your shoulders down, arms straight, neutral spine, neutral pelvis, and then bend to the top of the back of the head with your towel, trying not to pull your head forward and trying to keep your alignment. And you're reaching up, sliding those shoulders down, and the shoulder blades glide down your back ribs. You're keeping your head placed, and then forward to hover across from solar plexus. Inhale up. Exhale to that little goalpost. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward. Placing the towel down, cross hand to elbow, hand to elbow. Remember, we're not resting on our torso. The arms are a little away from the torso, but yes, they are below your shoulders. This is your spine twist. So we're only moving from above the waist. Lengthen your side waist, lift your back pant waist, scoop your low belly. We twist from above the waist to your right, exhale, little further, exhale, and bring it center, inhale. To the left, exhale, little further, exhale, and bring it center. Remember, we're not moving the lower half from below the waist, stay stable. Lengthen and spiral upward as you twist to the right, exhale, little further, exhale, and center, inhale. To the left, exhale, little further, exhale, and back to center. Now we're going into some side lying. Move your props, but keep your little head support. We're gonna lay on our side. So you might wanna start on your right side facing me so you can see. We stretch out in a straight line with our front body lined up from the feet, pelvis, shoulders, head, bottom arm extended, palm facing ceiling, head support between head and arm so your head's aligned. Kickstand your top hand close to your body. Make sure if you glance down you can see your feet. If your feet are behind your pelvic bones, that can put strain on your low back. So make sure they're a little bit on more the front side of your pelvic bones. Then you try to be right on your side pelvis, not rocking forward or back. If it feels a little uncomfortable, add cushioning under your mat with another layer of a towel or so. Then draw your top shoulder away from your ear, lift and brace your low abdominals, and ever so slightly lift under your bottom waist. Now we take the top leg to hip height. Flex the foot, pulling the toes back towards your shin, and squeeze down like you're pushing through mud. Point lift, inhale, flex, squeeze down, exhale. Point lift, inhale, flex, squeeze down, exhale. Next one, point lift, stay at hip bone height. Be careful you don't go way up here. No, it's very small, just hip bone height. Keep this top leg there, quiet. Bring the bottom leg to the top leg, ideally ankles together, and bring the legs slowly down with control. Don't let them plop. Lift the top leg, inhale, bottom leg squeeze up, exhale, both come down. And I'm calling this staggered lifts. Top leg, inhale, bottom leg, exhale, both come down. One more, top leg, inhale, bottom leg, exhale, and I'm trying not to wobble my pelvis forward or back. Now, we're going to do both legs at the same time as if your legs are rubber banded together. Squeeze both legs up as a unit. Hold a second and slowly place them down with control. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale, squeeze up. Inhale, control down. Exhale, squeeze up. Inhale and lower down. Bend your knees, push to a sit, take your towel with you, and swing your legs to the other side and lay on your other side, probably your left side now. Stretch out in a straight line from head to toe, bottom arm extended, palm facing the ceiling. Head support between your head and arm. Stack your hip bones, one on top of the other, and let ankles together parallel, lined up with the front side of your pelvis. Make sure you're not looking down at your feet, that your head's on your arm looking straight out, and your top shoulder is drawing away from your ear. Lift your navel in and up, and we're going to take the top leg to hip height. Inhale, flex the foot, press down like you're pushing through mud. Point lift, inhale, flex, squeeze down, exhale. Point lift, inhale, flex, squeeze it down. Now we add on, point lift and stay. Bottom leg goes to it, hold a second, and both slowly down. Top leg, inhale, bottom leg to it, exhale, both down. Top leg, inhale, bottom leg, exhale, both down. Now we keep the legs together like they're rubber banded, and both legs squeeze up together as a unit and slowly control down. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Squeeze, trying not to wobble, and lower. One more. Exhale, squeeze, and lower. Good job. Bend your knees and push to a sit. Okay, now we're going to grab our spacer and our head support. Lay on your back in neutral with your spacer between your knees and your feet close together. Bring yourself into neutral spine and pelvis, feet under your knees, and we're going to do some squeezes on the ball, activating inner legs, but being careful not to tuck when you squeeze. Try to maintain that neutral pelvis, tailbone lengthening toward the mat in the direction of your feet, bracing across the low belly, but do make sure all your back ribs are on the mat, not arching up. All right, so we're going to squeeze inward for 5, just holding that squeeze. 4, natural breathing. 3, 2, 1, and release. Squeeze it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Now 10 little presses, and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold 1, and release. Separate your feet a fist apart in case they were all the way together, and we're going to slip our head support out to the side. We're going to squeeze on the ball ever so slightly and do a bridge. Inhale, prepare, slight squeeze. Curl the tailbone, roll the pelvis up to your bridge in a straight line, and do 10 presses here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold 1. Sink the chest, roll down bone by bone. Unravel to neutral, release your squeeze, remove your ball, slip your head support in. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh, opening the right knee. Thread your right hand through the middle, left around the outside of the left leg to grab it. Pull towards you for that hip stretch, pressing that right thigh open just ever so slightly with your right elbow. And this is like you're making that number 4 in your legs, and you're pulling the underneath leg towards you. Just stretch the outside of the back of the right hip when the right leg is across. Great stretch. Deep breaths. And release and switch. You can always hold these a little longer if you would like. I'm just going to move through them a little more quickly, but you can always hold them a little longer. And then now we have our left leg crossed, grabbing behind the right leg by going through the middle and then the outside to grab it. Pull it towards you, feeling the stretch on the outside of the back of the left hip. And gently release and uncross. Now grab your TheraBand or your very long twisted towel, and we'll do some hamstring stretch. Again, carefully hook the band over the middle of the foot. Choke up a bit for this one. Elbows pull down to anchor. Bottom leg either straight or slightly bent. Now find your neutral, even if it means your leg has to move a little bit away from you. Extend the back of the leg, flexing the foot to the ceiling. Breathing, nice deep inhales and exhales as you hold your stretch. Then, keeping your foot like it's standing on the ceiling, take a little tiny bend of the knee without dropping your foot, and then press into the band, keeping your tailbone anchored. Hold there. Turn your top foot inward, sole of the foot toward the center body, so you're only moving the foot from the ankle. Then, keeping that foot turned inward, leg just ever so slightly across the body, getting more of a stretch on the outside of the leg, particularly the lower leg on the outside. Depends on where you're tightest, really. Inhale, exhale, and return to straight up foot to normal. Then open to that gentle side diagonal without moving your pelvis for that inner thigh stretch. And return to straight up. Take one more breath here. And slip your other foot in. Very carefully switching out. Set up your other side. Check your positioning. Neutral pelvis, neutral spine. And move your leg in a position where you can be in neutral. And then hold there for your hamstring stretches. Keeping the foot on the ceiling, a small bend, and exhale, stretch, and a small bend, and exhale, stretch. Stay straight, just the ankle and bottom of your foot pivoting inward, so the sole of the foot faces toward your center body, and you feel that stretch on the lower outside leg. Keeping that foot turned inward, you can also go just slightly across the body, and hold and breathe. Turn to straight up, foot to normal, and then open to that gentle side diagonal. Careful the pelvis stays stable on the mat, and feel the inner leg elongating. Slowly return to straight up for one more breath. Very softly start to loosen your tension, bend both knees. Very carefully remove your band to the side. Rub your hands out, release any tension there. Shake it out a little. Grab behind your back, right thigh. Hug it in close to your chest and slide the left leg out straight along the mat. This is a good low back stretch. Bring the bottom leg in first. Grab behind as you put the right foot down. Hug that left thigh close to your chest and ribs and slide the other leg out. Yes, you're in a tuck here. Yes, that's okay. And you're getting a little bit of low back and a little bit of hip flexor on the other side. And then bring both legs in. Hug in, rock a little side to side. And roll onto your side. Grab your sitting pads as you come to sit. Cross your legs in front. Rock a little to find your sitting bones and organize on top of your bones and elongate into your neutral. Let's take a couple of breaths. Inhale and out and down. Exhale. And inhale, and float the hands to the thighs. Exhale, and notice how you feel. Thank you.